What's up guys, Jessa here, and it is May 12th and we're going to do our first garden tour of the year. It has been unseasonably cold in southwest Iowa, I think the whole Midwest region. I'm zone 5B, and so I feel a little behind the 8 ball on some of the stuff that I've got planted, but let me show you what I've got so far. So you guys watched me do some of my early season planting, and it's kind of a mess here. I haven't weeded in a while. What I have here is some radishes, and among the weeds, they're doing pretty good. You can see a little baby there. So they're coming along, they're doing pretty good. Also got the 2 rows of peas that I planted right through here, you can see. And then while I was telling you it was unseasonably cold, we had some really hot days in there too. And you can see my kale has bolted. This is the kale that survived the winter. I did not plant this yet this year. Now, I planted some older seeds right through here, and unfortunately I don't think they're really doing anything. I had leeks in this row, I believe 2 kinds of Swiss chard, and while there are a lot of weeds, I just don't think I've had very good germination. I'll kind of look here. There's a little bit of, I believe, Swiss chard. So I will need to do some weeding here to find a few things that are still doing well. It's pretty sporadic with the germination there. Some of the other things that I planted, I did a live on my Facebook of, is just some brassicas. So cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, that sort of thing. And as predicted, it all seems to be doing pretty well. Some of it looked pretty pathetic when I brought it out here, but it's doing all right now. You can see right there, we're doing okay. That one is still alive. That's still alive. I do believe that I had something die here. It looks like maybe I tried to plant something there. This is a kale from last year, and you can see it bolted as well. But that's okay, it gave my honeybees something. So you can see, and I talked about this a little bit in my Facebook video, that, you know, this is pretty ugly. This is not Pinterest worthy here by any means, but it's still going to do well as long as I continue to at least weed it a little bit. So you can see what I planted there is doing pretty well. Let's spot them. So as pathetic as they looked when I put them in the ground, they are doing pretty well now. Now here is a row of potatoes, and you can see that doesn't really look like much of a row. Unfortunately, with my crappy fence, I should say gate situation, my chickens were getting in here, and I wasn't too worried about it because I didn't have much in here. Unfortunately though, they dug up some of my potatoes, and I saw them running around the yard with a potato in their mouth. So they did damage a few potatoes, and I think they killed the basil that would have reseeded from last year. I've always had it come back, and it just hasn't come back yet. The dill's coming back, and the cilantro's coming back, so I'll show you that. Okay, so this is one of the beds that they were just having a heyday in, and you can see I do have a little bit of dill coming back. Now, last year, this dill was just crazy. There was a little bit of basil in here, and the dill was just taking it over. Unfortunately, the basil died, but that's okay because this dill will take over. This is the cilantro from last year, and you can see it's quite healthy. It's doing just fine. And the same can be said about my 2 mint plants. I believe this one is spearmint and this one is peppermint, and it is just gone hog wild. I don't recall if I had anything here last year or not. If I did, I believe it was basil, and I have started more basil inside, so I'm not really too worried about it. Same goes for that bed, and then this bed is actually chamomile, and it's doing very well. I don't know if the chickens didn't get to it or what, but last year it was just a little tiny baby. I don't recall it getting this big last year, so that's pretty nice. Unfortunately, this is not anything. I believe that's wild celery, and I'm not sure if it's edible, but even if it were, I don't much care for celery. This is a clematis that I planted last year, and it's doing really good. It has several blooms on it. So that's all I have in this garden. What I've been working on today, and why I'm so darn winded, is I have found a source for free wood chips. Mid-American Energy is one of the power companies around here, unfortunately not mine, and they provide free wood chips. Now they're not what you go buy at the store, but they are free. And so slowly but surely I am unloading wood chips, and I hope to eventually get the entire garden full. I've got a few over here, and that will really help me reduce the tilling that I have to do, which is what I've been working on today, and the weeds. Right now I till my beds and then I mow in between the beds, and that's what I've been doing the last, I don't know, 4 years probably, and it works pretty well. But you know, there's always weeding, and it's just a lot more work than it should be. With the wood chips though, they'll be able to keep the weeds down, help hold in the moisture, just a lot of really good things. So I am looking forward to eventually getting this all covered. Fortunately, my brother is Mid-American Energy, and he rents my old home, so hopefully we'll have more wood chips there, and that'll be a much closer trip for me to go get wood chips from him. Now, my watering situation, I'm going to try something new this year. I've tried soaker hose in the past, and I'm not a big fan. My water pressure really sucks. And what I've been doing is just dragging this hose from the hydrant there and watering by hand. I do have another hydrant down there. And as you guys probably know from experience, that is a pain in the butt, because inevitably you knock something over and kill it. So I am going to try watering from above. Now I know that comes with some risk for disease and that sort of thing, but I'm going to give it a try. I do prune like my tomatoes and things like that, so it's kind of a gamble, but I'm going to try it. I did forget to show you my strawberries in this tire here. Now I was going to transplant these last year, and honestly it just never got around to it, and now they're blooming. They're a little thinned out because the chickens really enjoyed them, but they'll fill back in this year, and we'll kind of see what we've got there. So that's exciting. I love strawberries. Hopefully they do better this year. And this is my mess of a compost area. So you can see this is my janky gate situation right now. It seems to be working to keep the chickens out, but it's quite the hassle to get in and out of. Oh, and I just found Melissa's trowels that she was looking for earlier. You can see my comfrey is looking very healthy. The chickens just can't kill it. I did have a couple of roses. I had this one here, and I had another one over there. Now, last year, this one actually was doing okay. These were super discount roses. And I believe it was this one that never really did anything. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're coming back. Now, this is my outdoor garden. I call it the chicken garden now because the chickens can easily get to it and tear it up. But I do have a strawberry in there, and I believe this is a little bit of lemon balm trying to make its way back. I might put a little wire around this to protect it from the chickens because I really like that. I can't remember what was in here, but it doesn't look like anything. And then I just had beans in here last year, so I'll need to replant that. So that's what's going on in my garden. Now, let me show you Melissa's garden. So here we have Melissa's flower garden behind me, and I can't really tell you what all exactly she's got planted in here, but I do know that we planted a few bulbs, and you can see that they're popping. We attempted to transplant some sunflowers, and as you can see, it didn't go well. Part of the issue there is that we started them inside really early. We were so excited to start something, and we let them go for way too long, and then the transplant obviously didn't go well. Now, what's disturbing about these is it still looks like they're alive, and they're laying everywhere, so this is going to be a mess in this area. Now today I want to get out and plant some more, and I'm going to start a bunch of seeds, and that's my game plan there. There's these little teddy bear sunflowers, and they're really short. They're like kind of a dwarf size, and they seem to be doing all right actually. But I got this tilled up last night, and I'm going to go through and plant some seeds. I think she planted some more bulbs over here last night. So this will be eventually really pretty. I need to finish the fence. I tackled this fence over here with her help, and with her hand it just didn't go very well. But I'll get this stuff knocked out. But today she is going to get her cabin in. So we're kind of talking about where exactly we want to put it. But that'll be really cute, and she can keep all of her stuff in there, some of her garden stuff, and grow some plants around it and that sort of thing. But, oh, let me show you the fruit trees that we planted last year and how they're doing. So the fruit trees all came back, so that's awesome. I was really worried about how they would do over the winter because we did have some really brutally cold days. Now, this is our cherry tree. And you can see it got a little bit of frost damage. So it was budding out and leafing when we ended up getting a late frost that came in. Now I did put bed sheets over them, and that saved them, but of course, you know, you can't cover the whole thing. But you can see these guys are still just a little bit of damage there. Doing really well. Bill's watching the goats. This poor guy over here is literally bandaged up. This one felt the wrath of a loose goat. They peeled off the bark, and there's just a little bit left. So I'm trying to do my best to save it. This branch was busted, and so I'm just not super confident on how this one's going to do. It might be just a pathetic looking plant, but I thought it's worth trying to save since it survived all winter. All the other trees are doing well. Travis did buy and plant another, shoot, now I don't remember what it was, pear tree? He's got it over there. We're starting to plant down the field instead of down the field this way. So we're going to go along that way. So we'll kind of see how that goes. I'm sure there'll be more purchased and planted this year as well. Belby, come here. You come say hi. So that is what I have got in the ground right now. It's the last really nice day we're going to have until it starts raining, so I want to get some more stuff in the ground so it can get the benefit of all that rain, and I don't have to wait for the ground to dry out to get more stuff in. So that is my game plan for today. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned because there'll be plenty more garden videos to come. Thank you, and I'll catch you later. Bye. Out. Out.